just in, a young boy has been rushed to hospital after being hit by a car.
7 is in a serious condition in intensive care.
Police said the car was travelling at an excessive speed and again warned of the dangers for young people when crossing roads on their own. Fine, mild and partly cloudy, a top of 16 degrees. Right now in the city, it's 8 degrees. More news in 1 hour.
I've been a school crossing supervisor for about 15 years. My job is to put the children across the road safely in the morning to get them to school, and then do the same thing in the afternoon to get them home safely from school. It's been very good getting to know all the kids. I know all the kids by name, and they know me by name. And I've got to know all the mums and the dads and big brothers and sisters and some of the grandchildren.
The kids treat you as a friend. I've known them for about 6 years, and in that 6 years they get to know and trust you. The kids know that I'm there to help them and I'm part of the community. I enjoy the outdoors, being in contact with the children and being a service to the community in general.
Well, I find the uniforms are very important because the children look up to people in uniforms, and they're also a symbol of authority to the motorists, and they can also see you more clearly.
Someone's got a bad cough.
These are my favourite shoes. They've got non-skid soles and they're very comfortable. I like being out in the fresh air, but you have to be prepared for all kinds of weather. This is my raincoat. In the summer, I use a sunscreen, and I take a bottle of water with me in the afternoons because it can get very hot. If I'm feeling off colour, I get in contact with the municipal liaison officer so they can arrange for someone to relieve me at my crossing. I keep their numbers in the front of my handbook, which I keep with me all the time. I keep it here with my other things so I don't forget them. Contact with the kids. I like being out in the fresh air. I haven't had a cold for a long time, and I like to think I can come home at the end of the day and think, well, I've got them all across, we haven't lost one, and then they just go off to school. I like my job. It's good.
Primary schools, secondary schools and a lot of older ones at the TAFE will use the crossing. A lot of the elderly people come out and go shopping. They all go across. They feel safer using the crossing. I pick up my flags and stop sign from the school where I store them, and I always make sure I'm at the crossing on time. I put up the closest flag first. That makes it an official crossing. Then I do the flag on the other side. If there's an illegally parked car on the crossing, I ask them to move. It's usually just mum or dad dropping off the child, and they're often quite embarrassed. The kids arrive in the morning in dribs and drabs. Though in the afternoon, the kids all come at once. It's about a 3/4 of an hour job. Morning, girls, how are you? Because I serve as a few schools, so you've got quite a lot of children to cross, and it's a very busy road, and you've got to be on your toes, because some of those motorists speed round that corner. Remember the 4 basic rules of the crossing. Stop, look, listen and think. Throughout the year, I regularly run through the drill with the kids, and it's just to make sure that they understand it. It is clear, stop the traffic. I will then blow the whistle twice when it is clear for you to walk, and when you are walking across, walk between the 2 white lines. Remember, if I blow the whistle once, stay where you are on the curb and do not move onto the crossing. I only use the one whistle in an absolute emergency, or if there's a long stream of kids coming and I need to stop them at the curb so as I can let the traffic through. Now, once I've got the children grouped together, I wait for a break in the traffic. While I'm standing at the curb, I hold out the stop sign facing the motorist at 45 degrees. Once I'm sure the traffic has stopped, I go into the centre of the crossing and hold the stop sign vertically on the ground. I face the side where the heaviest traffic is, then I give 2 short, sharp bursts of the whistle to signal the children to cross. I stand inside the rear crosswalk line so as the kids can walk in front of me. When the last child has left the crossing, I go back to the curb. Every now and then, you'll get some kid who tends to stray across that white line, so I just bring them back and remind them. I hope we're walking in the lines today. I find that if you treat the kids like adults and you don't talk down to them, they'll listen. Of course, you have to be firm with some children. I've got an arrangement with the local principals. They've asked me to report any kids who don't behave. The kids know that, so they don't misbehave, and they're a pretty good lot up here. At the end of each shift, I take away the flag so it's no longer a legal crossing. The flags have less impact on motorists if they're left up all the time. It can be difficult because you get impatient motorists, and I'm here to look after the kids' safety as well as my own. Even if it's raining, I won't be hurried. I make sure that motorists have all stopped and the children are off the crossing before I move off myself. Right, does anybody know why we blow the whistle twice? Yes, can you?
So that we can walk across the road.
Very good. I go up to the schools every so often and talk about how to use the school crossing. It's not only good for the kids, but it helps build up a good relationship with the school community. We all know when we come to a school crossing that we stop, look, listen and think, because you never know when a car can come out of nowhere and be heading straight for you. The kids can get impatient, but I know most of them, so I just say, settle down, you're not going anywhere. Or I'll say to them, oh, you're in a hurry. On a date, eh? If it's too busy, they've just got to wait. And this is part of the job, to instruct them that they must be patient and stop, look, listen and think.
Some of the kids get impatient, but we know that Dennis is doing his job, so we don't mind.
It's a very busy road. I operate both sides and the kids cross from one side into the centre and then across to the other side. I work from the centre median strip and work the right-hand side first as the kids come that way in the morning. Because the signals control the traffic, I don't use stop sign or flags. I press the button and after the lights change and the green walk symbol comes on, I check no vehicles are coming through the red light. Then I move on to the crossing and stand facing the oncoming traffic so I can see the cars and the kids who have to pass in front of me. I give 2 blasts of my whistle and the children come across to the centre median strip. I hold them at the centre median strip and follow the same procedures to get them across the other side of the road. I only ever use the one whistle in an emergency, such as to stop a child who is about to cross as the signal is about to change. When they arrive at the crossing, I remind them to stop, look, listen and think. I just drill it in when they first start that this is what you have to do and this is the law, you must get off your bikes, you must get off your skateboard and carry your skateboard across. You must hold on to the ball. If you're bouncing your ball and you lose control that it runs away from you, so you're chasing the ball, not watching what's going on and a vehicle could come through and it's dangerous for both the child and the driver. And you talk to them not as little kids, but as reasonable adults, that they know what you're talking about and in straight language.
I think it relieves some of the pressures off the parents, knowing that there's somebody there to take the children across the road safely. Because the school crossing ladies and gentlemen, they do a real good, terrific job and care for the safety of our children.
If it's raining and there's a lot of traffic and you don't stop the traffic as quickly, you wait until you get a longer gap, and that gives the motorist time to slow down. Then I tell the kids to wait until we get a bigger gap and then I push the button. Most motorists are pretty good in the wet weather. They slow down a little bit when they get there. But you just pick your gaps and just use a bit of common sense. Operating a crossing at an intersection is very much the same as mine, but you have to be very careful and watchful for cars turning, that they're not going to go through the crossing, and you have to be very careful when you come off that they're not going to hit you. The lights control the traffic, so that makes it a little bit easier. If there is an accident near or on your crossing, you mustn't leave the crossing. You must stay there. You try and get someone nearby, a parent or a passerby, to ring the ambulance, the police or the municipality. I have a little handbook which I keep with me, which has all the numbers they require in it. My job then is to get the kids across the road, make them concentrate on the crossing, not on the accident, and get them across the road and hopefully send them on the way home. It is a busy road, and if a car doesn't stop at my crossing, I take the registration down in my handbook, which I have with me, and then I come home and contact my liaison officer at the municipality, give them the registration number, and then they follow it up.
I make sure the staff know me and they tell me what's happening at the school. The principals come and see me if I have a problem. The schools send me newsletters and the principals tell me break-up times, like early closings, or if there's a curriculum day. And then I pass on that information to my contact at the municipality.
The roads are really busy around here. We keep the children safe at school during the day, and it's nice to know that people like Dennis are on the school crossings so that they'll get to and from school very safely.
The school was in the basketball finals last year and the principal invited me along to watch. It was good to see some of the kids I know score a few goals. And when they won, I was part of the celebrations. I find that quite rewarding, being part of the community.
I feel good. If I got them all across safely, I feel good, and I've done a good job and nothing's happened, I feel extra good.
If we didn't have Maria on the crossing, we might get run over.
Dennis is a really great guy. If he wasn't there, it'd take ages to get across the road.
If we didn't have Maria on the crossing, it would take us forever to get to school.
Oh, he's a good guy. He's a good guy to talk to.